Yo, 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 and away we go. Thank you, Mauro Ranallo, for the use of that phrase that you made so famous. Wrestling fans, MMA fans, and boxing fans alike know who you are. Canada's own Mauro Ranallo, the current play-by-play man for WWE NXT. Once again, thank you for that iconic beginning to my program. The one and only Mauro Ranallo gets a shout out from me tonight. Before we really get underway here, guys, I did get one complaint that 20 minutes was a bit too long for one of my viewers last video, so we may shorten this one up here just a bit. We'll see how we're rolling. And hopefully this one won't be in a bunch of different takes. We're just gonna talk to you for a little bit. Jinx is here sleeping. Jinx is my service dog, as many of you know. My service dog and my best friend. As far as companion and four-legged friends go, Jinx has to be at the top of the list because she's at my side 24 hours a day, virtually 7 days a week. So thank you, Jinx, and you guys are gonna see more of him in these videos as time goes on, but right now he's dead to the world, for lack of a better phrase, sleeping his little heart out because he spent the weekend at my mom's, aka also his mom. We spent Saturday night and all day Sunday over there, and my mom has a miniature dog pound at her place, if you will. She has 3 dogs of her own, 2 labs, and a bull mastiff, I believe he is. If I'm wrong, he's a mastiff, but he's either a bull mastiff or a mastiff. Forgive my ignorance for not knowing, but his name is Deimos, and it fits him because he is one big dude, 100+ pounds, and she's pretty new to the family, but he and I already created a brotherhood and a bond, because if you mess with Chan, aka Big C, he's gonna have a problem with you. So shout out to Deimos, my buddy. Mentioning my four-legged friends today, so I better include my other four-legged friend, Duncan. Duncan is my mom's brown chocolate lab, and boy does he love to cuddle with Chan. He will literally jump on me with my chair tilted back in full tilt and recline almost like I'm laying in a bed, and he will jump on me and lay across my chest and lick my face until he can't lick anymore, and that to me is loyalty at its best. And so I have a bunch of four-legged friends in my family and in my life. I don't know what I would do without them. I don't know what made me give them a shout out before really getting into the purpose of this video, but I love all of you guys. Thank you, Duncan. Thank you, Jinx. Thank you, Remy. Remy, I didn't mention in that little talk about the dogs, but he is Mom's black lab, and he is a little more subdued and doesn't like the other dogs' stupidity when they get together, and he is the sheriff of her little dog pound over there, and when Remy has had enough, he will let you know. Enough is enough, and he's the leader of the pack over there, if you will, putting everybody in their place. And that's what's cool about my mom's house. The dogs know their rankings over there, they respect each other, they know that my mom and stepdad are their alphas and they respect them. Deimos is still in a bit of a challenging mode with them, but I promise you, and this is not just to put myself over, but he really doesn't challenge me like that. If I tell him to do something, especially when we're alone, he does it. And I don't even know if my mom knows this, but if I call him to me when we're alone, or tell him to sit, or tell him to lay down, he doesn't challenge me at all, which I'm thankful for, because he's already showing me loyalty and respect, which growing up, I had my doubts about owning any type of a dog, much less a service dog, because I always felt that the dogs looked at me more as a litter mate and not an alpha type person. But boy, I'm so blessed to have the dogs that I currently do in my life. Not only that, but the dogs I have had previously in my life. Before Jinx, I had one service dog named Yanni. So Jinx is my second service dog. Yanni was my first. We were together 9.5 glorious years. Yanni showed me what true love and loyalty and what a true bond was really all about. God bless you, Yanni. I still think of you every day, and you gave me the strength and the know-how and the desire to want to carry on my life with another service dog in Jinx. And Jinx, although he can be challenging and a bit stubborn, he is a blessing, and I'm thankful for him. Really, the purpose of this video was to bring up Yanni and bring up the fact that the day I had to say goodbye to Yanni due to inoperable cancer, the day I had to give him his freedom, as I call it, was one of the hardest days of my life, yet one of the most beneficial days of my life, because I gave my dog his freedom. I did not give up on him. I, in my mind, thanked him for 9.5 years of loyalty, service, friendship, companionship, and love. And I don't know where my life might have been without Yanni for those 9.5 years. And so again, the day I had to say goodbye to him was the Monday after my birthday, the day after my birthday, one of the hardest days of my life, but yet I'll never forget it, because as I was saying goodbye to Yanni, and for a few minutes after, which felt like an eternity. That was the day that I asked God to come into my life on a permanent basis and change it forever, and I thanked Him for His loyalty and His patience with me over the years. I thanked Him for giving me gifts like Yanni, gifts like my mom's dog, Tubby, who was in the family for numerous years. And I don't want to start talking about Tubby on this video, because I'll get too long-winded, and I'll also probably cry, which I don't want to do right now. But Tubby, next to Yanni, at the time that Tubby was alive and well and not sick, Tubby was my best friend, four-legged or not. Tubby next to my grandmother, and of course my mother, because my mother's the one that gave me life. My grandmother is the one that stood by my side when I felt like I had no one else to turn to. No offense to anyone else in my life at that time, but so many videos I'm gonna share with you guys. So many different areas of my life we're gonna dive into as time goes on, but sorry for getting off track, so let me stay on track. Yanni was and will forever be the individual, the soul, the spirit that truly gave me my real adult independence. He gave me confidence. He gave me independence. He showed me what it was like. Not only what it was like, but exactly how to put all the pieces together to be my own man. Boy, where would I be without him? Once again, we'll discuss that in more detail later. And I'll probably title this Yanni Part 1. And also my relationship with God Part 1, because there's more I could dive into as it relates to God too. But God and I, during the moments following Yanni's departure, had a very private yet meaningful and intense conversation where I had to give him a heartfelt, humble, and meaningful apology for choosing not to fully open my heart to his presence. You know, I've always had some form of a relationship with God, but when I humbled myself that day, I had to say goodbye to Yanni, and I said, God, I'm sorry it took me so long to get my shit together, but I now know with more clarity than ever before, I need you, and I'm ready for you to come into my heart and stay there. And I'll be happy to share my story with anyone who may get some good out of it. But I'm not the type of person that would be known as a Bible thumper or a typical conservative Christian crackpot. No, I'm not any of those things. What I am is a guy who can tell you that through loss came a sense of peace, because God used Yanni as a tool to give me things, and on the day of Yanni's passing, I didn't feel like God was taking Yanni away from me. I felt as though Yanni was allowed to give me every teaching tool he possibly could before he had to say goodbye to me. He was with me in some working capacity up until the last 12 hours of his life or so, because the night before his passing, I had left him with Mom for observation purposes, because I knew something wasn't right, and we had already had him at the vet looking for answers for at least 2 or 3 times prior to her keeping him for the night. And she called me Monday morning and said, "I'm not real satisfied with what I'm seeing. He's having trouble urinating. I'm going to try to get him into the vet and do some follow-up." And she did so, and there happened to be a lady there with a special ultrasound machine, and she got to the root of the problem. Unfortunately, it was tumors around some very crucial organs and areas of his body. One was around his heart, and there was no operable answer. At most, all I could do was buy him time, but that would not have improved his quality of life. So I decided, as I said at the beginning of the video, and I know I can be a repeater, and I apologize, but certain things are worth repeating. I gave him his freedom, and moments later, I had a conversation with God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, whatever you choose to call him, that changed my life on an adult level, because my bond with God will never be broken now, and that'll be my choice. And do I have things I could complain at him about? Sure, but do I have things where I should say, "Thank you, Jesus, for all that you have given me and all that you have done right in my life"? Yes. In this case, the good outweighs the bad. And that's the message of this video. God gave me a selfless soul and spirit that taught me more than I can put into words. And when his time with serving me was over, God came into my heart and said, "I'm here, remember that. Hear me speaking to you. I'm just waiting for you to open the door and let me in on a permanent basis." I did that, and I promise you guys, I can feel his presence every day. So if you are kind of lost right now, and you're not sure which way to turn, and your life has a bunch of question marks in it, don't wait any longer. Ask Jesus to come into your heart. He's waiting for you to ask him. He just needs you to open the door. Something to think about, guys. I'm not a preacher, just a realist, the way I see it. And maybe this video was put into place, put into motion, because I dealt with somebody earlier today that claims he already knows all the answers. He knows what he knows, and he is who he is. I respect that. To each their own, guys, but if you want forever comfort in knowing that no matter what, no matter how rough things get, somebody's always got your back. Humble yourselves, if you will. Have that come to Jesus meeting, and it'll change your life forever. I think that's a good place to stop for today. Thank you guys for listening to me. God bless you and yours, and so long for just a while.